Long before the rise of Thor's hammer or Odin's eye, the ancient Germanic peoples worshipped deities tied directly to the forces of nature. Among these early gods and goddesses, one figure stood out with reverent mystery: Nerthus, the Earth Mother. Described by the Roman historian Tacitus in the 1st century CE, Nerthus is one of the earliest recorded deities from the Germanic and Proto-Norse pantheon. Her myth, though fragmentary, is rich with symbolism, sacred ritual, and cultural significance that echoes through later Norse mythology. Nerthus, whose name is believed to be linguistically connected to the later Norse god Njord, Njorður, represents a feminine, fertile embodiment of the land itself. She is associated with peace, prosperity, and the cycles of life that arise from the earth: planting, harvest, and rebirth. While her worship predates the Viking Age, the echoes of her presence remained in Scandinavian spiritual consciousness for centuries. In fact, some scholars suggest that the transformation of Nerthus into the male sea god Njord reflects a broader cultural shift from earth-based fertility worship to sky and sea-oriented warrior cults as Norse society evolved. The most detailed description of Nerthus comes from Tacitus's Germania, written around 98 CE. According to his account, Nerthus was worshipped by several Germanic tribes who believed she physically dwelled among them. Her presence was manifested through a sacred cart, kept hidden in a forest grove on an island. Only a chosen priest was allowed to approach her cart, and when the goddess wished to travel among her people, a solemn procession was held. Her cart, drawn by cows, would be paraded across the land, signaling a time of peace. During this sacred time, no war or violence was permitted. Weapons were locked away, and the goddess was allowed to bring blessings of fertility and harmony. After her journey through the land, the ritual concluded with a chilling finale. The statue of the goddess, the cart, and the animals that pulled it were all washed in a sacred lake. Then, as Tacitus describes, the slaves who performed the ritual were drowned, presumably as a final offering to the goddess, ensuring her purity and mystery remained intact. No one who served Nerthus in her rites was allowed to live afterward, a testament to the gravity and awe her worship commanded. This mix of fertility, peace, and death underlines Nerthus's archetype as a chthonic Earth Mother. She gives life, nourishes it, and receives it back in death. Her role mirrors that of other earth goddesses across Indo-European cultures, such as Demeter in Greek mythology or Danu in Celtic belief. But Nerthus's myth is uniquely somber, shrouded in secrecy and blood sacrifice, reflecting a deeper reverence for the sacred unknown. The island-based ritual site and the use of a cart or wagon are key elements that persisted in later Norse traditions. The Vanir gods, particularly Njord and his children Freyr and Freya, carry forward many of Nerthus's themes. Freyr is closely associated with fertility, harvest, and sacred groves, while Freyja governs love, beauty, and feminine power. Njord's connection to the sea and wealth may reflect the transformation of an older earth deity into a more coastal and trade-centered god, as Norse society grew more maritime. This evolution from Nerthus to the Vanir suggests a mythological continuity, an ongoing reverence for fertility, land, and divine balance, even as names and gender roles shifted. While Nerthus herself is not mentioned in later Norse texts like the Poetic Edda, the motifs she embodies remain central to Norse religious life: sacred groves, processions, ritual purity, and the deep connection between the divine and the natural world. In modern paganism and Norse-inspired spiritual practices, Nerthus has seen a revival. She is honored as an embodiment of Mother Earth, a divine matron of peace and renewal. Some view her as a goddess of the turning seasons, invoked for grounding, abundance, and protection of the land. Her story also resonates in contemporary discussions of eco-spirituality and feminine divinity, representing a lost connection between humanity and the sacredness of the earth. While Nerthus remains an enigmatic figure, her influence is profound. Her myth reminds us of a time when the divine walked the land, when peace was sacred, and when the rhythms of nature were not just respected, they were deified. Through sacred ritual, she brought blessings and required sacrifices, teaching that harmony with the earth comes at a price. In the hush of forests and the quiet flow of lakes, one might still feel the presence of Nerthus, the goddess who once rode among her people, hidden behind veils, and worshipped with trembling devotion.